Hey ladies, welcome to pregnancy week 33. 33 weeks pregnant. I am now like freaking out. I have 7 weeks till my due date, which I don't think I'm going to make it to my due date. So this week, the baby is about between 17 and 19 inches long and definitely weighs over 4 pounds. And he is moving like crazy, and his movements are ridiculous. He is always like, I don't have a lot of space. Like, I can feel him like everywhere. It's so weird. But on Sunday, I woke up Sunday morning and I was having contractions, and I figured they were Braxton and Hicks contractions because I get them all the time. And Brian was sitting next to me and kept saying, why does your stomach look so weird? Like, this is first thing in the morning before we even got out of bed, and I was like, I'm having a contraction. It just takes on this really weird shape. Well, so as the day progressed and went on, I started noticing that I was feeling more and more and more contractions. And I sat down and kind of put my feet up and tried to relax, and they were getting like more intense. So I started using my contraction timer app on my phone and was kind of trying to take like visual, like just to document. And my average was like 3 to 4 minutes apart. So I called my doula. She told me to, I at that point was already getting in the shower. I kind of had already told Brian, I think we should go to the hospital. I was using lavender oil on my belly. I drank magnesium, I took a shower, tried to relax, and they were coming on more and more, and they were getting stronger. Like they were really kind of, I don't want to say they were hurting, because my pain tolerance is way better than that, but I mean, they weren't comfortable. And typically with Braxton and Hicks, they don't have a specific pattern, and they don't really hurt. I mean, they're uncomfortable, but they're not supposed to be like where you have to kind of work through them. So we made the hour drive to the hospital that's closest to our birth center. And when I got there, they put me in a triage room and hooked me up to the monitor and called my midwife to come to the hospital because they do have practicing rights at that particular hospital. Yes, we passed another hospital on the way. At one point, Brian even said, well, why don't we just go to the local hospital instead of driving an hour? But at that point, my contractions were so close together that I was really kind of nervous that there was more going on. And if I was actually in labor, then they were going to fly me to Baltimore, which is a good 2.5 hours away from my house. And that's just not something I want to do. If he's born, I don't want to be traveling to Baltimore every day. Well, the other thing that had happened was last week, which really made me a little nervous. One day last week, I sneezed, and when I sneezed, my pants all of a sudden got like soaking wet. Like the whole crotch of my shorts were soaking wet. I had to go change them. And I kind of laughed and I said, I either just peed myself or my water broke. And it was like this big huge joke. Brian kept saying, hi, you peed yourself, typical man, whatever. Well, since then, every time I would use the bathroom, I would notice when I stood up, I was dripping something on my feet or something would run down my leg. And I honestly believed it was urine because, I mean, you're pregnant, your baby's laying on your bladder. I'm like, it has to be urine. But this is really gross because, and then I was like drying myself off really well. Standing up, same thing was happening. I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous. So there was a small part of me when we were driving to the hospital that had me a little worried that maybe I did break my water and I wasn't actually peeing myself. So when they hooked me up in triage and they put me on the monitor and called my midwife, I was having contractions about 3 to 4 minutes apart. And some of them, I would have like little ones, and then all of a sudden I would have like this ginormous one that lasted like over a minute. And those ones were pretty intense. They hurt. They were really uncomfortable, and that was where I was finding myself. Like at one point I think I like grabbed a hold of Brian, and I think I was like pulling on, I guess it was like his shirt. I think it was no, it was his skin. He was like, that's my skin, that's my skin, that's my skin. And I'm like, sorry, I'm sorry. He was like, hold my hand, don't pinch my skin. Because I think I just kind of grabbed a hold of his arm and I just kind of started squeezing more like this than like this. And so I was like, okay, I just, got to get through these contractions. They're killing me. Finally, the midwife got there, and she decided that she did not want to check me because she was worried that if I had broke my water, she didn't want to introduce any bacteria into my vagina for fear that I would get an infection, which was fine. But they did do a fiber-fetal nectin test, which I'd had before back when I had preterm labor at 24 weeks. And they did the amnio test. It's called AmniSure, where they do a swab. She did the quick test under the microscope and didn't see anything. They sent the AmniSure down to the lab to see if that would test positive down there. They did a urine test to see what's going on, if I was dehydrated or urinary tract infection, other things that could cause contractions too. So my my AmniSure came back negative, which meant my water didn't break. So I was very happy to say that I was peeing myself. And the AmniSure came back, the AmniSure came back negative, and then so did my fiber-fetal nectin. So the fiber-fetal nectin test, apparently we have, I think I explained this in my 24-week video, but I'll do it again. But we have a layer of glue that holds our amniotic sac to our uterine wall, and if that glue is kind of breaking away and coming out, it's typically a sign that labor is inevitable within the next 2 weeks. So it was good news that that was negative, which means that, one, my water didn't break, and two, I really wasn't in labor. That was bad. So they did decide to give me Procardia, which I had at 24 weeks. It didn't work for me, but I refused the Tributaline because the last time I had the Tributaline, if you remember back at 24 weeks, I was only able to get 2 of the 4 doses because it made my heart rate go up to 175 beats a minute, and it stayed that way for an hour and a half. So I was like, I'm not doing that again. If my heart rate's that high, his heart rate's that high. So I agreed to the Procardia, which was fine, and that actually did this time, along with 2 bags of fluid, stop my labor. So that was really good news. We ended up coming home, obviously, because I'm home, and everything was fine. When they did check me, I am 1 to 2 centimeters dilated, and it was this really big, ugly bird that just flew past my window. I'm 1 to 2 centimeters dilated, and I'm effacing, but I'm less than 50% effaced. So that's good. So with that, I don't know that I'll make it to 40 weeks. I mean, I know it really doesn't mean anything because I've been 3 to 4 centimeters for 2 weeks before. So it just makes me think that maybe I won't make it to my due date with everything that's going on. When they did test my urine at the hospital, they said that I was a little dehydrated, which I don't know. And she said that my urine came back showing signs of a UTI. Well, here's my issue with that. They want you to do a clean catch. Well, they only gave me 1 little antiseptic wipe to wipe with. And typically it's wipe, pee a little bit, wipe again, and then catch midstream. For one, I can't see anything. So how they expect me to hold a cup and pee in it, not going to happen. So I know I didn't do the clean catch correctly. So if there was bacteria present, then it was because I am not good at any, I'm not good at clean catching when I can't even see that general area of my body. So she said that maybe my midwife said that she was just going to treat me for a UTI just because she was worried, but then the nurse said I had a UTI, so I don't really know if I had a UTI, if I didn't have a UTI, but I'm a macrobid for the next week anyway. Well, and pretty much, I mean, that's really it. Besides my pregnancy stuff. So let me go ahead and show you my belly. And be on the lookout too. We're almost ready to do our nursery tour because we are almost done. Just a few more things that I need to add. And I will be packing my hospital bag very soon because I'm a little worried. I did leave out of here with just my pretty pusher gown and that was it. Knowing anyway that if I had him, he wasn't going to be coming home with us anyway, so I didn't really have to worry about his stuff. And my stuff, Brian could just easily have ran out to a local pharmacy to grab me some shampoo and stuff to wash with. But Anyway, so let me go ahead and show you my belly. Okay, so here we are, shirt on. And my belly is getting bigger. There's a picture on my Instagram. My belly is like, it's 38 and a half around now. So I'm going to try to do a picture a week. So I want to see how much bigger it gets per week. Okay, and then here we go. And to the front. And to the side. This side. Like there's like a foot or something right here. Something sticking out. But that's it. So there you have it. And I'll see you in week 34. Bye.